Hey, welcome to Mallard of Fact. Imagine that you have some skills. So you decide you're going to play piano in your own country, which is a free country, only to be approached and verbally abused by some outsiders coming in hot from China, telling you that you cannot record them because they are from China and suddenly their rules apply to you. You'd be pretty upset, right? Well, that is exactly what happened to Brendan, aka Dr. K. Let's get into this. Piano was sealed off and guarded after clash between pianist and Chinese tourist who demanded their faces were hidden on live stream. Now, instead of walking away like a sane, rational person, they decided, hey, we're going to just impose our rules upon you and tell you what you can do. We're going to try to bully you and get you to break to our will. Definitely go give the original video a look. It is insane what this Chinese man says. His whole demeanor, how angry he gets that he is being recorded, it's wild. The piano has been sealed off and is allegedly being guarded after a clash between a pianist and Chinese tourist. Well, it's not alleged, it is being guarded. There are pictures of this and video of this. The musician was then accused of touching one of the women, an allegation he strongly denies, and two British police officers got involved. So, what actually happened is he said, I'm going to record. We are in the UK, we are not in China. He pointed at her flag because she was holding a Chinese flag. Therefore, he figured, you look Chinese, you're holding a Chinese flag, you're probably Chinese. Nothing wrong with that. It's a pretty logical deduction. But that's not good enough. Due to him reaching towards the flag and saying, we're not in China, this man that was with her blows up. He just absolutely loses his mind and says, do not touch her. Stop touching her. Stop touching her. And he goes full repeat mode and says the same thing about 100 times straight. It is infuriating to listen to. He's one of those people that you just wish you could bop on the nose. But Brendan plays it cool and he holds back. I'm sure he was just livid inside, but he composed himself rather respectfully. So, no, he did not ever touch this woman. There's video that he was shooting, and the Chinese people, I believe, also had video of their own. If he actually touched her, somebody would have caught it. Not the case. He's just trying to make a scene, trying to bully this guy so that he will stop recording them. But he does not give in, and we need more people to be like this. Do not give in to bullies. Do not put your rights aside for these freaks. You need to stand up for yourself. We need more people like this for sure. Now the piano has been guarded. It's tied up. All right, here we've got a picture of the piano with the guard right next to it. It says, you can't make this stuff up. And check that out. This is a piano that was donated by Elton John. A piano that's been played by many people in a public setting. It's a wonderful thing. It brings so much joy to people when you have live music. It just does something to the atmosphere. People love it. The majority of people love it. And yeah, if you walk by, you don't want to be filmed. I get that. You don't want to be seen in public, whatever. Just walk away. That's all you have to do. Or come up to them and say, hey, can you please edit me out of the video? I really don't want to be in it. And most people will be like, yeah, that's fine. That's totally cool. I'll blur you out or whatever. You don't come up and just say like, you need to delete this video because yada yada, some bullcrap. They claim that this piano is now locked off because of maintenance. And we all know that this is definitely not the case. It's locked up because of what just went down there and because it went so viral. Millions of people are seeing this and they don't want anything to happen in that area. It sort of makes sense, but it's very disappointing to see that this group had such a big impact by just being completely nightmarish people. It goes on to say, however, one of the women involved today accused Dr. K of provoking them by referring to them as Japanese instead of Chinese, playing a discriminatory song, and constantly telling them, we live in Britain, not China. Well, you can see clearly in the video, he refers to them as Chinese because they are holding a Chinese flag. This lady is just making stuff up for the sole fact that she wants to get this man canceled. The woman also claimed they had been waiting to play the piano themselves For the Chinese New Year greetings video, they were planning to film the station. I call nonsense. You know what I think they should do? They should set up a different piano in front of these people and say, play it. Play it. You claim you were waiting there to play this piano? Prove it. You probably can't even play the piano. You're just making crap up. And I say, put them on the spot, say, prove it, or you're going to prison. You freak. It's it's so messed up. Like we all know they weren't just waiting there to play the piano, waiting there on film. No, no, I do not believe it. When I approached him, his assistant kept filming, and this is when I realized he was probably a content creator filming videos. But I didn't know he was live streaming at the time. Okay, so at that point, just walk away. If you make a scene, you're more likely to be seen. If you don't want to be seen, the best thing you can do is just walk away, be one of the passerbys. Nobody's going to care about a background character. Think of all the public music videos you've seen in your life. Who's in the background? Unless they're doing something substantial that's worth remembering, you're not going to remember any of their faces. And that's just the way it is. So if you make a scene, you make a fool of yourself. Now, guess what? Now millions of people will see this and they will remember your face. And that's on you. So I asked, can he delete his video? Because our content today is non disclosable. Okay, but you were going to play on a public piano. It's non disclosable, but you're going to sit there in public and play. I, I'm not understanding. I'm not following this. It can't be made public in advance. He kept asking me questions, and I really didn't know how to respond. Police officers later approached Dr. K and warned him to not put the video on his YouTube channel. What say do these police have in what content you put on your social media? If you have not broken any laws and you are not causing harm to anyone, you should be able to upload whatever it is that you want. There's video of him talking to one of the police officers, the woman, and she didn't do great. She really didn't do great. She essentially told him, "You can't say that. You can't say they're Chinese." Why? If they look Chinese and they're holding a Chinese flag and they're telling you that you can't do things that are done differently in China, I'd say go ahead and tell them they're Chinese. Call them as you see them, man. It's ridiculous. The fact that this police officer said that is not surprising, but not great. But Brendan here interrupted and said, listen, we're in Britain. We're in a public space. It's a free country. Good on you, man. I'm so grateful for people like this that stand up for their rights, that know their rights and do not back down to authority or other extreme groups of grumpy people. You know what's right. You stuck to your guns. Great job. I was so glad I actually had it filmed because if I narrated this, people wouldn't believe me. But the fact that it was on live stream, it was completely spontaneous, and now the world has seen it. Yes, we have. This video is absolutely blowing up all over the place. Millions of people are seeing it, and 99.9% of people agree with Brendan. He was 100% in the right. Before the officers arrived, the situation escalated from the group asking him politely to stop filming to shouted demands as he was accused of trying to touch one of the women. It escalated really quickly. It went from, "Hey, can you please not record us?" to, "Sorry, I'm filming in public. This is the UK. I'm allowed to do this here. We're not in China." Him pointing, boom. That was it. That was all it took for this to become such a big escalated deal. They insisted they were enjoying the music, but would put legal action into it. They have no legal action to take. He did not break any law. Therefore, he stood his ground and said, like, okay, what legal action are you talking about? You have nothing to refer to, so just shoo, get out of here. It also says here that the man during this encounter, the Chinese man, said, "You are not the same age. Do not touch her." And then there's another woman that intervenes and says, "Don't shoot, don't shoot. What's the big deal?" or something along those lines. It could mean don't shoot as in don't film him, but it almost sounds as if this man was strapped and he was ready to unleash some bullets. And it's wild to think that that's not that unbelievable in this day and age. And the fact that she just said don't shoot, the way that she said it, listen to the video, it's pretty eerie, and I'm glad that nothing more happened than what did transpire. It's freaky, and I think this is why a lot of people just will give in because they value their lives. But at the same time, I'm still so glad that Brendan stood up for himself and all of us, really. So, what do you think of this whole ordeal? Would you have been like Brendan and stood your ground, or would you have gone running with your tail between your legs? Let me know in the comments. This is Matter of Fact. I'll see you in the next video.